Hebrew manic, not romantic. Here's my bottom line. Many shot from the subject, but the subject is just not complex. And I'm facing it, not faking it. And I'm looking in the eyes, not forsaking it. Yes, this is grown music, it's marriage music, it's no fornication. This is marriage music, no adultery needed, it's my proclamation. My song's Solomon, the songs of Solomon. I'm trying you to do what the sinner of Solomon. I'ma tell you, sister, gotta keep the Torah with your aura, keep that mission. I'ma tell you, sister, if you see a good man with a wife, go get him. Talk to his wife first, no, I'm not kidding. If it's right, give him the green light, then go get him, go be with him. But first, make a covenant with Yah and quench your thirst for righteousness. Have a righteous family and make righteous kids. Bust their bubble and show them how the righteous live. Out of trouble, no drama, but I spit this. Spit this for the sisters, they be scared to admit this. Yeah, spit this instant. Spit it for the brothers, they be scared to associate with some pimp-ish. With the pimp business, we don't have to pimp this. They be write this, that's how we get this. I don't have to be a pimp, I don't have to be a G, I don't have to spit game. Have to have a lean, have to be a Mac, I just gotta be me. That's what's the guy who follow me to the T. Come on.
Yeah. Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic. And I know just what you want. Who's the Yahoo writing my polygyny song? Alright. You can hear this, you can hear this, you can hear this, you can hear this. And I know just what you want. Who's the Yahoo you see? I know just what you want.
I spit this international. Those who graduated out, no tattoos. Those who don't see it as a hassle. It's not forcing something that you have to do. But if a sister is into you, my wife tell her yes, you can join too. Not on no nastiness, no pervertedness, no menage a trois, no freakiness. I'm peeping this. Well, people try to put it on. That's why I'm sitting right here writing this song. Put the truth in context, kill it on an assets, expanding your consciousness. I'm just here to try to right my wrongs, but you are here trying to ignite my rights. I keep hearing that my right is wrong, and the streets keep seeing these streets in the night. Is that alright? I'm just saying if a baller come through and sweep the whole crew, when the smoke clears, I'm just saying you can see one man who conquered the whole crew. Now this be the norm these days, please give me consideration. It will be all consenting, those trying to build a righteous nation, build a secure foundation. Why are people still hating? If I was on that evil, I would have a couple of sequels. You know how we do, we be some hypocrites in a walking contradiction. The woman chose the man. With that being said, I'm not taking no advantage. Do you understand this? Chill.
Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic. And I know just what you want. Who's the Yahoo writing my polygyny song? Alright. You can hear this, you can hear this, you can hear this, you can hear this. And I know just what you want. Who's the Yahoo you see? I know just what you
right
want.
Here before the mature, not the provocateurs nor the temptress. Those who be trying to lure, get me to cause a war. But for the genuine and for the pure, those who be loving my wife for sure, and my family don't be trying to pull no secret missions on that bull. I got an arrow to slay the bull. Be a standing woman speaking direct for sure. If you feeling me, speak that for sure, for sure. If you see me, then holler back for sure. If you act fake, turn my back for sure. I ain't got time for no little girl games. Who I gotta train and mature. Trying to build my kingdom, trying to maintain. I don't need no swag or no game. This polygyny, this art of war. See, you really need to get this through your mainframe and your brain. It's about 20 women to everyone man, and the virtuous woman excels them all. Understanding America and international lands with my virtuous wives in my hands.
Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic, Hebrew manic. And I know just what you want. Who's the Yahoo writing my polygyny song? Alright.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise and all glory to the Most High, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Mahara Kar, Bun Yahawada, Bun Yasha'Allah. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about the world, right? We're gonna go over this Netflix series that's out there going crazy nuts. So when I first started watching it was like number 5 on Netflix. It's probably number 1 now, but it was number 2 when I was watching it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is on it. You feel me? And so I want to do a review. Forgive me for the 720. I got to upgrade to the 1080 at least. But so I want to let you guys. I'm gonna do a full review concerning the movie. So if you have not seen the series, you don't want to watch this review. Don't let me spoil it for you because I am going to be a spoiler concerning this film. All right. So please do not allow me to spoil um, what's going on here. If anybody can hear me, all right. Just want to make sure my audio is working. All right. So let's meet the characters. How about that? Let's meet the characters. Let's see. Let's meet the characters. Hold up.
Hi guys, my name is Gugu Gumera.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Gwanelim Teta and I play the character of Mati Ngosi on The Polygamist.
Hi guys, my name is Gugu Gumera and I play Joyce.
My name is Kenneth Nkosi and I play Makesh. Huh?
Nolutando Shabalala here. I play the character of Ugumi.
Hi, this is Celeste Ntuli.
Hi, my name is Tandwe Khorohe, and I play Mama Grace.
Hi, my name is Wanda Ndlovu and I play Menzi Gomora.
Hi, my name is Laza Keaton Zebesha and I play Sarah Gomora.
Sanbonani, my name is Luyanda Zwane and I play the role of Lindani.
Hey Taras, my name is Ustumom Charlie. I play the character of Ucho on The Polygamist.
Listen, can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Huh? Can you talk?
Can we talk?
Is the space safe?
Is the space safe?
Is this space safe? Is this place safe?
Cast of Polygamist.
12th of June.
On Netflix.
Let's go!
All right. All praise. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about it, right? We're gonna talk about it. So you met the cast, right? You can find these guys on Instagram. They are African actors, right? Let me share the screen, right? So you got the lead character, right? That's him right there, Adumo Masali, whatever, right? He's on Instagram, right? You can check out his Instagram page, right? My rib say he looked like the ant, right? We got this girl right here, Lundan Zane, right? Check her out. She's one of the main characters on there as well. Right? And I'm sorry, I have to say it. Get that all you want. But there's some beautiful women in the land of Ham. You know what? And I'm gonna say, hey man, she probably is an Israelite. Everybody's an Israelite. We got Kenneth, right? He's the uncle, right? So we have the uncle here, and the young lady here is playing the best friend to his daughter on the show, right? Right? So you can set the stage. This is the best friend's, the daughter's best friend. This is the main character's brother, right? The handler, right? This is his oldest daughter on the show, right? So she plays. That's a video about her, but she has her own page. This is one of the wives right here. This is one of the wives, right? Isi, right? This is her page, right? Then you have this, the daughter. This is one of his daughters. We gonna get to that, Sarah, right? That was I'm gonna talk about who Sarah is, right? Those that watch it already know. Then we have the firstborn son, who don't look nothing like him, for real. Um, Then you have the main character, this lady right here. We're gonna break her down for real, for real. This is the first wife. This is the second wife right here. Right? This is the second wife right here. Okay? That's the second wife right there. Shorty right here is off the chain. But this is the second wife. That's the first so-called wife, and this is the so-called second wife, which actually is the third wife, right? Right. And this film is based off in South Africa, so you know there's a lot of Zulu, right? Down there. This is the mother-in-law, the mother of the wife, right? That's the second wife, right? It's another page of hers. It's another page with her. It's not her official page, but there's another page of her. She's beautiful. I don't care. She's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you talk crazy all y'all want. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see why some of the elders, the men was getting the women from the land of Ham. But hold up. They might just be Israelites, right? According to Lawis, right? They might be Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is a what? Everybody is an Israelite. Everybody is an Israelite. Okay? So I have wrote my information out concerning this series. It was a great series. I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was like, what are we doing? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But it's intriguing. It pulls you in. It's like it's a catechism of everything in marriage, right? So this is not just about polygyny, and this is what y'all have to understand. If you have a spiritual eye and you can see between the lines and understand context and things of that nature, this is not just about no polygyny, first of all. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that, right? All right, we're going to talk about that. So, Shalom, this is your brother, E37 Mahar. I'm streaming on E37 Entertainment page, my Facebook page, and on my E37 Ministry page, right? Okay, so I'll be doing a lot of these, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, right? Fair use statement for educational streaming. Let's talk about the words. The Polygamist Review. You know what I'm saying? If you want to send some love, that's on you. All right, Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it over here, right? So my big sis, my big little sis, Faith in Israel, she watched the joint. We was talking about it. I told her that I'm gonna do an official review about it, and we're gonna go into the subject matter. I'm trying to figure out what I did with my glasses, but I guess I'll be able to read the information. So let me share my document, okay, and we're gonna go over it. And those of you who have not seen it but want to see it, or just want to get to the review and get some understanding about what it is before you see it, well, you're at the right place, okay? So let's get to it. Let me share my screen so I can get my information I have put together. Everybody need to watch this movie. Everybody need to watch this series because this series is speaking about a subject matter that is happening at a rapid rate, right? And there's nothing that people gonna be able to do about it. Okay. This is my Polygamist Review, a commentary on family, culture, wealth, jealousy, and polygyny. Polygyny is when a man have more than one wife. Polyandry is when a woman have more than one husband. And polygamy is both aspects, right? We as Hebrews, Israelites, don't promote polygamy. A woman having multiple husbands, nor ancient cultures, the Bible, none of that. All right. Okay. So a woman that having multiple men, like in this modern time, multiple baby daddies, they have multiple men, they have body counts that's out of the world. You feel me? That is shunned upon. and and when you see this show, it's going to highlight those different things as well. Okay, you have the young ladies talk about why you so starving to have sex, why you can't wait till you marry, right? But America, they'll tell you to experiment and date and do all this other stuff like that. So there's a lot of defining moments in here that's really dropping knowledge and jewels. So, introduction. All right. My bullet points, why I watch the series differently. Polygyny throughout history. It's all through the Bible. Why the issue was people, not necessarily the structure. See, this is about the structure, the people. The issue was people, not necessarily the structure of the institution of polygyny. Human nature versus marriage structure. Human nature versus marriage structure. The Bible has what you call a plural marriage structure or a monogamous marriage structure. The terminology of polygyny, polygamy, and polyandry is not in the Bible, right? But the concepts are, right? Commentary. The Polygamist is much more than a television drama. As someone who understands that polygyny that I've been practicing and been doing out in the open for 20 years now, okay? Whether someone to say it hasn't been always successful or whatever the case is, runaway wives and this, that, and the third, and the whole nine, that has nothing to do with the institution of marriage, of multiple wives or monogamous wives. It comes down to people, to people, and the society that you live in, right? So the polygamist is much more than a television drama. As someone who understands that polygyny has existed throughout Africa, the Middle East, and even throughout the Bible. It's all through the Bible. And we have camps and congregations and schools such as IUIC to throw out there that's against the institution of a man having more than one wife when the greatest forefathers and mothers was in polygynous marriages and relationships. And the nation of Israel was built off that concept, which is ridiculous. Multiple societies have been built off the polygynous system, right? I approach this series differently than many viewers. So I'm not having no respect to person. I'm dealing with the information that I seen. Many people will leave the series blaming polygyny, because they was doing polygyny itself, right? So a lot of the women is watching the shows and they all happy and ecstatic and they just enjoying the conflict and the disarray and the division and all that stuff and trying to say, see, that is the reason why I can't do it, because all this stuff will happen as if the system itself is off. What you're going to find out is not the system. It's the people. It's the individual. I'm going to break this down to the very last compound, man. You feel me? That's what I'm about to do by Shem Amashiach Yahushua. Okay? And this is a commentary for everybody. This is not this for no Hebrew Israelite. This is just a general review, right? For any and everybody. Right? So many people will leave this series blaming polygyny itself. I personally believe, let me go up. I personally believe the greater issue was not necessarily the structure of the marriage, but the flaws within the people involved. All of this is my information, my words. Whether monogamous or polygynous, jealousy, greed, let's do it again. Whether monogamous or polygynous, jealousy, greed, dishonesty, manipulation, lack of communication, unresolved trauma can destroy any family. Let's do that again. Jealousy, greed, dishonesty, manipulation, lack of communication, unresolved trauma can destroy any family. Okay? Understand that. My thoughts on Jonas as a husband. And I showed Jonas, and let me show Jonas again. I showed Jonas earlier. He's the main character, so I don't have to go. I should have put his picture up there, but listen up. Bullet points. He was a provider. Right? He remembered Essie. Essie was actually his second wife, right? Essie was actually one that gave him the money to go to the university, honored his vows, right? Built wealth, failed in honesty. This is this guy. He was a provider. He remembered Essie. He honored his vows. He built wealth, failed in honesty. And a lot of you sisters talk about, if he got money to take care of all of us, I can do it. Well, he had a business, a flourishing business and the whole nine doing his thing. And I'm sure y'all are demonizing him like a mother. But you're going to find out who's the real demon. Distributed resources better than presence, right? Right? So he had all resources. He was able to take care of his women, provide for them, all that, right? Commentary. Looking at Jonas strictly as a husband. This is looking at him as a husband. I believe he was a provider. He provided for Joyce and helped establish a successful life. Together they built wealth and enjoyed the benefits of the empire they created. Joyce's first wife. He also remembered Essie, the woman who supported him before what? Success. Before his success. Right? Right? Before his success, she was there. When he became successful, he returned and fulfilled his promises to her by purchasing a home, buying a vehicle, and he married her in their Zulu tradition, right? In their tradition of Zulu, right? And continue to support her. This what Jonas did. This is what Jonas did. Okay? I want y'all to understand this, right? They're trying to make Jonas be as if he is the demon man, right? Let me see if I can put Jonas up here. Let's put the picture up here so y'all can see the picture. All right. Let me put the family on the top here so y'all can see who I'm talking about. Okay. Jonas is the lead character, the husband, right? The successful husband that had all business and all this stuff like that. Okay. So let's go back. Oh, I need to call my wife and make sure she's watching this joint. Oh, I don't want her to watch it because it'll spoil the movie. But hey, so this brother, put his life or risked his life. Are you watching? You don't have to because I'm spoiling it if you do. But no, I haven't watched it. All right, so don't watch it. Okay. Okay. All right. So, Jonas, when it came to Essie, risked his life, had a gun point to his head, and basically dared the guy to kill him because he was trying to beat Essie up. Now, the scriptures tell you, right? No greater love than the man to give up his life, right? And he loved her. And they was together after that. And he was concerned about, he had big dreams and things of that nature. So he needed money to go to school. His father wasn't able to get it because he was an alcoholic with all that stuff like that. She gave him the money. And so he promised that he would come back and buy her a car, buy her a double two-story home and all of that. And he did. He also remembered Essie, the woman who supported him before his success. When he became successful, he returned and fulfilled his promises to her by purchasing a home, buying a vehicle, and continue to support her. Even the woman who entered his life later benefited from his desire to provide and protect. However, Jonah's greatest weakness was not provision. His greatest weakness was secrecy. Secrecy. Coming from poverty, he feared losing opportunities. Right? There's a scene where his brother took his son and daughter back to where they grew up, some little shanty shack, some little small little shack of a house, or I can't even call it a house. It was not even a house, right? And for you to see that, and then what he built is phenomenal, right? So it says his greatest weakness was secrecy. Coming from poverty, he feared losing opportunities, desire to protect wealth, and status caused him to hide truths that eventually destroyed the family. This is what's going on. This was going on. The plot thickens. This is the plot of the whole joint. The tragedy of Jonas was not necessarily polygyny. The tragedy of Jonas was dishonesty. Right? And a lot of you sisters would agree that dishonesty is not good, and he should be truthful, he should be honest, and I agree. I agree. But the ironic thing is that he's from South Africa. This is part of their culture. So they can practice polygyny. But the point is, he had fear of losing opportunities because of the first wife. Right? So let's continue. Jonah's greatest weakness, it says, fear, money, secrecy, emotional absence, unequal presence. That's what he did. This is the whole thing with him in the series. He was fearful of losing what he had. He was all about the money, secrecy, emotional absence, unequal presence. Commentary. Jonas understood how to provide financially, but he struggled to distribute his emotional presence equally. We're going to find out why. Some children in the household receive more access to him than others, and that's not how it should be. A polygynous family should all be benefiting from the whole pie, right? Together in the big house. This is the concept. You know what I'm saying? Because why? When you read the Bible, the Concord Dictionary, it talks about everybody dwelt in the same house. The mama, the daddy, the husband, the wife or wives, the servants, right? Everything is put together, right? So some children household receive more access than the others, right? Children need more than money. Children need time. Children need affection. Children need reassurance. In my opinion, this became one of the greatest weaknesses in Jonas and one of the central tragedies of the series. Okay? These reasons right here. Children, right? It's about rearing up the next generation, right? Some women can't have children. Some women don't want to have children, right? Some women physically can't have it because of medical reasons. Children need more money. But when it comes down to the children need more money, children need time, children need affection, children need reassurance. Joyce, let's get to Joyce. Because she's the main figure as the woman that all of females is going to gravitate to, and they feel that I'm going to gravitate to the man. But when I first started watching the series, I was like, what the hell is this? Is this polygyny? This man is going off. He's trying to divorce her, right? He got another one on the low. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? Right? You know what I'm saying? But that was a great introduction to the story. Right? It's a great introduction to the story. Right? So let's get to Joyce Gomorrah. Victim or villain? Bullet point, jealousy. The Bible says a woman shouldn't be jealous over another woman. She was extremely jealous. Extremely jealous. Extremely jealous. Manipulative. She manipulated everybody. Manipulated her own self. Right? She's doing interviews, manipulating her viewers about how good polygyny is and it's their culture and all type of stuff. Full of it. Full of it. Right? Jonas wanted to divorce her when the opening, the first episode, he wanted to divorce her. She didn't want to get the divorce. Right? Public image. She was all self-consumed by her image. As you watch the show, it's all about her image. How it's going to make her look with her husband with this other woman and all this other stuff like that. She refused to divorce. Poisoning Jonas. This woman poisoned Jonas. She poisoned the man. Here we sitting over here trying to highlight her as if she is a role model. This woman she's trying to kill her husband. That's what she's doing. I personally do not view Joyce as a victim. Many viewers, let me see, that many viewers may see her as, right? Joyce was deeply insecure and heavily invested in appearances, right? Although she eventually accepted another wife, when it benefited her, she continued to resent the other women and fought for exclusive control over Jonas. Over Jonas. They sat at the table in one of the scenes after she said, I want you to become a second wife. And she basically tried to dictate where Jonas would sleep and said, you would sleep exclusively with me in this house. What are you talking about? The woman don't usurp authority over a man. Who's that man? Who's the head of the family? Is it her or is it him? You got a power of who want to control what. And this was Joyce. Although she eventually accepted another wife, when it benefited her, she continued to resent the other women, like Essie, and fought for exclusive control over Jonas. Whatever simply I may have had disappeared once she attempted to poison him and ultimately became responsible for his death. You know what this wicked woman did? She met a woman in jail in the beginning of the episode in the season when she was in jail for she burning up the house. And the young lady looked good in the whole night, and she told her that she had HIV. She got it from a man or whatever the case is. And so she goes back to the woman because she know her husband is weak and desire women. He desire women. He desired women. And she set him up for destruction. Let me get back. Let me let y'all see me here, man. This woman set him up for destruction. Do y'all hear me? She sent death to his door. And a lot of y'all gonna sit up there and justify Joyce because you hate the institution of polygyny. This woman put borax in his food. The Bible talks about how there's no wickedness outside the wickedness of a woman. In the book of Sirach, the 25th chapter, it goes in on the wickedness of a woman. Joyce. Joyce. Joyce is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, there's no respect of persons. Okay? I'm just breaking it down. Let's go. Let's continue. In my opinion, Joyce transformed from victim to villain. Yeah, if I look at her position as I'm the only wife, he lied about Essie, which was off as hell. You feel me? Because he was concerned about the money. He didn't want to lose the money. So he lied about his second wife to his first wife. And now his second wife is looking stuck like Chuck and blamed and then added his brother to the lie as that was his wife. So now his brother is involved in the plot and the secrecy and lies. We'll go through all that. So it was questions that was asked. Essie is my favorite wife. Why? I say Essie my favorite wife. Bullet points: loyalty, authenticity, pain, commitment. She was committed to him. She was committed to him as much as she possibly could be. She loved him to the beginning and to the end. Right? Commentary. Essie was my favorite wife, I said. She knew Jonas before the money. She knew him before the fame. She loved him before the empire. Although she suffered emotionally and struggled with loneliness, she remained loyal. To me, Essie represented authenticity. She was authentic. She wasn't money hungry. She wasn't power hungry. She wasn't full of vanity. She wasn't she was a thick woman, right? right? She was comfortable in her skin, right? And he loved her. And then we continue the same format. We're gonna continue and go through here, right? We're gonna go through Matapis, right? Okay. All right. So, because I was the tragedy of polygamist was not necessarily polygyny. The tragedy was secrecy, jealousy, and unequal distribution of emotional presence. Matapis, which was the second wife, thought she was the second wife, but actually the third wife. Matapis, beautiful. Let me just refresh the mind, right? Beautiful. And a lot of times women get upset when they husband get the young, beautiful worlds, right? You want to get a younger woman now, especially when you got an older wife and you get a younger woman, she's mad and jealous, right? This was Matapis, okay? That's the actress that played the second wife, but really was actually the third wife, okay? That's her right there. And she got other videos all over Instagram as well. The young lady that played the second one, okay? Right? And so we have the husband here, right? And then you have, let me find the wife. Nope, that's the young one. Well, that's the wife there, but I want to find her page on Instagram. Oh, well, I should have put it in order. This her right here. Horse teeth. Got the big old giant teeth and mouth. Right? And she was off the chain. Her mouth matched her whole personality. It's off. Her mouth was off, looked all big teeth, and her mouth was off the chain. What a combination. What a combination. Right? So let's get back to my presentation. I don't know why it's doing this. Stop and share. Let me read my information here. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. So Matapis was the fine, young, business oriented, trying to get. She pursued him. The brother, right, was trying to holler at her, but she wasn't feeling him at all. She's brushing him to the side. Nah, I'm not trying to rock with you at all, fam. You know what I'm saying? You're not the top guy, nor or you that attractive. Basically, you feel me? Right? So she was attracted to wealth. This woman, she the one that pursued him. He didn't pursue her. She pursued him. She pursued Jonas, right? Ran past the secretary. The secretary told her, listen, I'm in this job to prevent women like you from coming at Jonas. And she brushed through her and went to the office and seduced him. Bent over, said all kind of badness out of her mouth. And a lot of these women be chasing brothers that's on the polygyny tip, especially the brothers that been outside and is powerful in the world, talking about in the community, or any man that have wealth and power and influence. Women gravitate to that because, hey, there's more women and men anyway. All right? And these women don't give a damn about you. At the end of the day, they're going to want what they want. Let's not play no games. And they showed that in one of the scenes where one of the sisters that was the hidden sister went and seduced her own sister's man, giving him the words, right? It shows you that if these women want something, they can go out there and get it, right? And the sister was thinking like, oh, my man would never do such and such, as that, the third. Oh, yeah? A lot of you sisters believe that too in your mind, right? So bullet points, she attracted to wealth, desire status, opportunity driven, different motivations than Essie, right? Essie wasn't concerned about that. Commentary, in my opinion, Matapis was motivated differently than Essie, right? Essie loved Jonas before success. Matapis met Jonas after success. To me, she appeared attracted to his influence, his money, and the opportunities that came with being connected to him. I'm not saying there was no affection present, but I believe wealth and status played a major role in the decision to pursue him. Then she so-called fell in love with him, right? Because she pursued him and kept pursuing him and even had opportunity to go mess with somebody else, but then got back in a sexual relationship and they had twins. So that other situation was out of there. Okay? I'm not saying there was no, so many people are attracted to security, women. Many people are attracted to success, women. And Matapis represented that reality, right? So she wanted all of that. And he liked her because she was a beautiful, physically attractive woman, young, right? Driven, right? Confident, and he wanted that. Now, let's go on to Lendani, the youth, right? Youth, opportunity, and desire. Bullet points: came from humble beginnings, close friend of Mapum, Gamora, the oldest daughter, raised by a struggling mother, desired a better life. Jonas saw her as a woman. When he noticed her as a woman, when they had a party, when they went out of town to their vacation home and came back and they had to do a bash, and she was up there basically winding it up on a table, and he noticed that, right? Because I got into a little argument about that situation, and she basically raised up with his daughter from, I believe, 8 years of age. But if you look at the movie and stop putting your own diabolical feelings in there, he noticed her as a woman at that point, right? But let's see how she came into play. This is about her. Jonas saw her as a woman. Both saw something one from one another, right? Ladani was one of the most complicated characters in the series. She grew up around the Gamora family and became very close to Mampu. Unlike the Gamoras, however, she did not come from wealth or economic stability, growing up around privilege exposure to lifestyle many people desire. Eventually, Jonas stopped seeing her as simply his daughter's friend and began seeing her as a woman. Because she was an adult, I personally do not view the age difference itself as the issue. Throughout history and across cultures, relationships between older men and young women have existed. And that's a fact. The Lendani desired opportunity, security, access to a better life. Jonas desired youth, beauty, admiration, and excitement. Both individuals seeking something from each other, right? We're not going to say it's one person for it. It takes two to tango. It's both. It's always both, right? You see what I'm saying? Whether people agree with their relationship or not, it demonstrated how economics, desires, and emotions often influence human relationships. Real talk. Right here, it says Magis, Gamora, loyalty and sacrifice and complacency. This is his brother. Loved his brother, covered Jonah's mistakes, benefited from the company, sacrificed his own life, good heart, but not innocent. Commentary: Magis Gamora was one of the most tragic characters in the series. He genuinely loved Jonas. Everything he did appeared to come from loyalty and brotherly love. However, love does not remove accountability. Magis repeatedly helped cover Jonas' secrets. He protected the image of the family and the business. Although he's not motivated by evil, he still became part of the deception. He also benefited financially from Jonas' success. In many ways, Magis sacrificed building his own family while helping his brother build his. He had a good heart, but good hearts can still make poor decisions. Magis teaches us that loyalty without accountability can become dangerous. 9. The children, the truth victims. And overall, bullet points. Inherited conflict suffered because of adults' desired peace, often more mature than parents. Commentary. In many ways, the greatest victim in the series were not the wives, nor was it Jonas. The greatest victim were the children. They inherited battles they did not create. They carried emotional burdens that belonged to adults. They became witnesses to jealousy, secrecy, manipulation, and resentment. Ironically, many of the children eventually displayed more maturity than the adults themselves. While the adults fought over love, wealth, and status, and the children simply wanted peace, understanding, and family. Sarah, the daughter who wanted to belong. This is Essie's daughter, right? That he lied to his first wife, okay, Joyce, and told Joyce that that was his brother's wife, right? And hid that the fact that that daughter was his, right? Bullet points. Knew who her father was, forced to hide it, wanted recognition, felt abandoned emotionally, searched for love. She played that role to the T. She played that role to the T, right? I even shed a couple of tears for her, right? Commentary. Sarah's story was perhaps the saddest story among all the children. Facts. She knew who her father was, but she could not openly claim him. She wanted to belong. She wanted recognition. The few moments she spent with Jonas meant everything to her, but every time he left, the emptiness returned. She watched everyone else openly receive the love and attention she desperately desired. As more children entered Jonas' life, Sarah's pain only increased. She had been there from the beginning, yet she remained hidden. Many of her decisions throughout the series reflected the pain of a young woman searching for love, acceptance, and validation. Sarah represented the emotional cost of secrecy, right? Freedom, a son who carried his mother's pain. Bullet points, not Jonah's biological son, witnessed Essie's suffering, watched the mother struggle, inherited emotional pain. Commentary, although Freedom was not Jonah's biological son, Jonah's relationship with Essie greatly affected his life. Freedom watched his mother suffer. He watched her drink. He witnessed her loneliness. Because he loved his mother, he inherited her pain. Children often suffer when people they love suffer. Freedom represented collateral damage. The pain was not chosen, it was inherited, right? And this drove him also to drink and do some drugs, right? Menzi Gomorrah, a son caught between two worlds. Bullet points, loved his father, admired his father, sided with his mother, desired his mother's approval, failed to understand his father's sacrifices, eventually became more like his father than he realized. Commentary. Menzies' story was complicated. He loved his father. He respected his father. He admired his father. And in many ways, he feared disappointing him. However, because he witnessed Joy's pain and heard the frustration, he naturally sided with his mother. He became trapped between the two people he loved. His mother provided emotional comfort. His father represented authority and discipline. Because of this, Menzies often carried his mother's resentment towards Jonas. One of the most important moments in the series occurred when his uncle took him back to where the family came from. The purpose was not to justify every mistake Jonas made. The purpose was to show Menzies the sacrifice that brought the family out of generational poverty and into generational opportunity. Unfortunately, Menzies initially missed that lesson. Regardless of Jonas' flaws, he remained a man whose hard work changed the lives of future generations. Menzies enjoyed the opportunities his grandparents never had. In my opinion, Menzies struggled to honor his father the same way he honored his mother. Life eventually matured him. Ironically, by the end of the series, Menzies began displaying some of the same desires and tendencies he once criticized in his father. Look at that. His story asks an important question. How much of who we become comes from our parents and how much comes from our own choices? Manpun Gomorrah. Growth, forgiveness, and integrity. This is the oldest daughter. Jonah's baby girl, closest to Joyce, turned against her father, right? Forgave both parents, demonstrated the greatest integrity. Commentary, Out of all the older children, I believe Mapu Gamora displayed the greatest growth and maturity. She was clearly Jonah's baby girl. He loved her deeply. However, because she was close to Joyce, she naturally absorbed her mother's pain and resentment. Like many daughters, she viewed the situation through her mother's eyes. Eventually, she turned against her father. As a stage of life, she believed her own relationship would be different. She believed her boyfriend would never betray her, which he did. Reality taught her otherwise. Heartbreak matured her. As she went away to school and gained her life experience, she began seeing both parents differently. She recognized that different parent was perfect. She saw flaws in her mother. Well, let me say, she recognized that neither parent was perfect. She recognized that neither parent was perfect. She saw flaws in her mother. She saw flaws in her father. Most importantly, she learned forgiveness. She forgave her father. She forgave her sister. She moved beyond bitterness. In my opinion, Mapu demonstrated the greatest integrity among the older children. Her story became one of healing. Manpu and Ladani, right? A broken sisterhood, right? So that's a very key thing. You don't want to offend your brother or sister either, right? Right? So these two was like sisters. Scripture says, don't take a wife of her sister to vex her, right? So as they grew growing up together as sisters, like sisters, it wasn't a good choice for her to deal with Jonas or Jonas to deal with her, knowing that they was that close and they performed and they became a sisterhood, right? But men in the loins, the quabarals, right? And the young lady herself was promiscuous, right? Okay? She could have denied, she could have said no herself, right? So both of them wanted something from one or the other, right? Right? So their sister, childhood friendship, sister-like relationship, betrayal, pain, forgiveness. Commentary. One of the saddest relationships in the series was the friendship between Mampum and Ladani. They grew up together, they trust each other, they love each other like sisters. But Jonah's relationship with Ladani shattered that bond. What began as friendship became betrayal. Yes, despite everything, Mampu eventually chose forgiveness. The level of maturity exceeded many of the adults around her. And she made me drop tears in the end. Be straight up and honest, man. Right? I'm a very emotional person, right? Yeah. Right? The real problem was not polygyny. Let's understand that. The real problem was not polygyny, which a man got more than one wife. Bullet points. Secrecy in this movie. Pride, jealousy, money, manipulation, emotional absence. Those are the key bullet points about this series. Commentary. Many viewers will walk away blaming polygyny itself. I disagree. In my opinion, the real problem was not polygyny. The real problems were, again, secrecy, pride, jealousy, manipulation, fear, the love of money, and unequal emotional presence. Monogamous families can suffer from the exact same problems. Polygynous families can suffer from the exact same problems. Human nature, not merely marriage structure, was the true conflict in this story. So just because they put the polygamist and you want to try to use that to demonize the institution of marriage of polygyny is wrong as hell, because it's all boils down to the individuals involved. The children wanted peace while the adults fought. Bullet points. Adults pursue love. Adults pursue status. Adults pursue wealth. Children pursue belonging. Commentary. The adults fought over love. The adults fought over money. The adults fought over jealousy and status. Meanwhile, the children simply wanted family. They wanted peace. They wanted acceptance. They wanted understanding. And so instead of that, they want to bring the drama. In many ways, the children displayed great emotional maturity in the adults who created the conflict. When I watched season 2, bullet point, Jonas carried the series, so I'm not sure. Menzie may repeat patterns, which he is, because he showed that at the end. Joyce should face accountability. Oh, yes. She poisoned him, paid the doctor off to say he had a heart attack. Now he's taking heart attack medicine or whatever the case is, right? When she put borax in his food, poisoned him, trying to kill him. And then she hid what she did. So how is she innocent? All because of jealousy. And the Bible talks about her countenance change, right? When you read the book of Sirach about the woman and her countenance, okay? Right? It's talking about the wickedness of a woman changeth her countenance. She wanted her husband out of there. She wanted to unalive him. But we'll sit up here and try to justify her. We'll try to there, not including me, not me. Because I can see clearly now, right? This woman was off the chain, Joyce. Right? Off the chain, man. And a lot of these women are off the chain. And they can sit there and with a head rot and all of that and act like they're all in the spirit until jealousy coming in. Right? Sirach 25:17, the wickedness of a woman changed her face and darkened her countenance like sackcloth. Verse 19, all wickedness but little to the wickedness of a woman. Right? These are just a few quotes. Okay? So, would I watch season 2? Yeah. Curious where the story goes. In commentary, it would be difficult to imagine a series without Jonas. I like Jonas. I like Jonas, but he was tripping the hell out. He definitely was being manipulative. He was lying. He was proud and boastful, and he was just doing too much for real. And all he had to do was be honest, right? Jonas, because he truly carried the show. His personality, leadership flaws, and complexity made him the center of the story. The ending appears to suggest that Menzie may repeat some of the same pattern as his father. I'm interested to see how that develops. I would also like to see Joyce's actions fully exposed and accountability brought to light. Despite everything, I will still watch a second season. All right. I think you guys who wrote the book and did the series did a phenomenal job. It was a great nail biting, I don't know, on the edge of your seat type stuff. Right. Final conclusion, bullet points. Jonas pursued legacy. Jonas pursued exclusivity. Essie pursued love. Lendani pursued opportunity. Magesh pursued loyalty. The children pursued understanding. Everybody had their own what to be with this man, right? Again, it rephrased everything. The children pursued understanding. In the end, everyone had a price. The tragedy of the polygamist was not necessarily polygyny. The tragedy was secrecy, jealousy, once again, and the unequal distribution of emotional presence, because wealth can build houses, but only love, true forgiveness, and communication can build families. Overall ratings, I gave the show 9 out of 10. Excellent character development, strong emotional impact, realistic family structure, complex themes, powerful performances. Weaknesses, some storylines felt rushed. Certain characters avoided accountability. The ending left many questions unanswered. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Not because I agree with every decision made by the character, but because the series forces viewers to think about family, marriage, forgiveness, culture, and the consequence of human choice. The Polygamist is not simply a story about polygamy. It is a story about people. It's about people, right? Wealth cannot replace presence. One thing. It's not all about the money. Women want to have the money, the child support, and no man dared to be no influence, and the child still turn out off as hell, right? Jonas provided financially. He's a provider. Provisions is not enough, though. Presence matter. Emotional equality matters. Commentary, one of the greatest lessons I took away from the series is that money cannot replace presence. Jonas was not a deadbeat father. He was not lazy. He was not unwilling to provide. In fact, he built an empire. He changed the economic future of multiple generations. However, while he distributed resources, he struggled to distribute himself. Some children had greater access to him than others. Some wives had greater access to them than others, and even though money was available, emotional availability and was not always equally available. A child may appreciate gifts. A child may appreciate opportunities, but children ultimately remember presence, like you being there. Children remember conversations. Children remember hugs. Children remember who showed up. One of the saddest realities in this series is that several people simply wanted more of Jonas himself. And that was the conflict, fighting about who's going to have the access to him. Generational poverty versus generational wealth. Bill points. Jonas broke the cycle. Younger generation took success for granted. The older generation remembered struggle. Wealth changed perspective. Commentary. One thing I appreciate about the series was how it highlighted the differences between generations. Jonas and Magis remembered poverty. Essie remembered struggle. They remember where they came from. The younger generation only knew success because they did not experience the hardship that built the empire. They often failed to appreciate the sacrifice that produced their opportunities. This is common in real life. The first generation sacrifices, man, right? The second generation benefits. The third generation orphans what? Forgets. The visit from Magis took with Menzies to show him where they came from was one of the most powerful moments in the series because history matters. People who forget where they come from fail to appreciate where they are. Every character wanted something. Bullet point. Jonas wanted legacy. Joyce wanted exclusivity. Essie wanted love. Matapas wanted status. Lindani wanted opportunity. Magish wanted loyalty. The children wanted belonging. Commentary. One thing that made this series so powerful was that nobody was completely innocent. Everybody wanted something. Jonas wanted legacy. Joyce wanted exclusivity. Essie wanted love. Matapis wanted security and status. Lindani wanted opportunity. Migesh wanted family unity and loyalty. Sarah wanted acceptance. Mency wanted approval. Mampu wanted understanding. Freedom wanted peace for his mother. Because every character desired something. Their desire often collided with one another. And those collisions became what? Pain. Pain. Forgiveness became the greatest victory. Bullet points. Mampu forgave. The children matured. Bitterness destroyed adults. Forgiveness healed the next generation. Commentary. Ironically, the people who matured the most were the children. Many of the adults remained trapped in bitterness, but several of the children eventually learned forgiveness. Mampu forgave. Relations were restored. Perspective changed. And healing began. Perhaps that is one of the greatest messages of the entire series. Bitterness destroys. Forgiveness heals. Scripture lesson I took from the series, Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish pluck it down with her hands. Ecclesiastes 4:9. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor, and a threefold cord shall not be easily broken. Yeah, that. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turn away wrath, but grievous words stir up strife or stir up anger. 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Colossians 3:13, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. Exodus 20:17, honor thy father and thy mother. Right? My final thought, I did not finish The Polygamist believing that polygyny destroyed the family. I finished the series believing that secrecy destroyed the family. Jealousy destroyed the family. Pride destroyed the family. Manipulation destroyed the family. Emotional absence damaged the family. Because marriage itself does not create righteousness, people do. And broken people can destroy any structure, whether monogamous or polygamous. Polygamist is not ultimately a story about marriage. It is a story about human nature. And human nature, without truth, forgiveness, and communication, eventually destroys itself. Final score, I rate this 9 out of 10. The Polygamist isn't just entertainment, it's a conversation. Right? So there you go, y'all. Right? I thought I was sharing the information I was reading, but I wasn't. Okay, fine. But if anybody like a copy, you can email me or hit me up in my inbox, and I'll give you the breakdown. But there you go, folks. That's my breakdown of the series. Right? They definitely look like they're gonna have a part 2. And they should have a part 2 because this is not over. This is not over. All right. So I recommend you guys to check this out. The show is a good show. Right. is definitely a hot topic, right? Especially in the conscious community, the Israelite community, right? One man, four women, one eternal covenant, right? Presented by E37 Entertainment, right? This is my review. Hope I didn't spoil it for you. You need to go out there and watch it and enjoy the theatrics, the drama, right? The vision and everything else that come with this show. I think is one of the best series that came out in a minute. You see what I'm saying? But it's not about the institution of polygyny. It's highlighting everything. He wanted to get a divorce. You know, you're supposed to just divorce your woman for another woman. She didn't want him to divorce. Then she asked for a divorce later. She was jealous as hell, controlling as hell. Mouth was off the chain, disrespectful, right? He got to the point where he put his hands on his wives, beating them up, hitting it with his fists and all that, beating it with a belt, which I don't agree with all of that, right? So with so much going on, he lost it, right? And then he got infected by HIV by his own wife, who set him up for the murder. So I definitely got to see a part two, the unalive him. I definitely have to see part two. Because this woman right here is diabolical. This woman right here left her babies and her children after that when you pursued him because you wanted status, right? This one right there was at the bitter end, want the divorce, want to send him off home with their cultural burial and everything like that. This woman right here came with the police to take his body to where they want to have the ceremony at. She disrespects the man in the grave, curses the man out at the damn ceremony, at the funeral. Said F off or something like that. I mean, popping off crazy. She didn't do that. This woman cried genuinely, cleaned his body, everything. And this woman right here was a devil, man, a demon, man. Right? This woman right here was an opportunist. She wanted status. She wanted the money. She wanted the flick. She wanted the limelight. She just wanted to have something. She just wanted to have something. This one right here. Right? And at this point in time, he needed her. And she needed him, obviously. Right? You see what I'm saying? Now, is anything is unlawful according to script? No. No. And he married her legally in South Africa. He married her second. And he had a ceremony, married her. He left her the house. So when you women talk about, yeah, if he got money, I don't care. I'll deal with him in polygyny. Well, he had money and substance, right? But what he did have, what he didn't have was integrity, and in terms of not being a deceiver and lying about this beautiful woman right there that was there, and she hindered her from seeing him in his last day, which is totally wicked. This woman right here is the devil that the Bible speaks of. She's the devil. And she's the second devil. She's not loyal. Even though he laid hands on her, which punched her and all type of stuff, which we not co-signing all of that. Ephesians 5, right? Where the man hurt his own flesh, right? But she still stayed, right? She was trying to steal his money. She took out, I don't know how much money out the bank account, right? It was going to run off with the man's money and all that. So understand that she's not only leaving, taking the children, but she trying to take the man's money and leave. What about that? See? What about that part? Right? Scripture says if she want to leave, she'll leave with and leave with nothing. She trying to leave with everything. Right? Somebody got a question? Your thoughts on the kind of man he is. That's what I'm going over this whole thing. He's a man that had a high appetite for women. He had a high appetite for women. Right? If the man want 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wives and he's taking them and he's providing for them and he's calling them their wives. He want to have children with them. What's wrong with that? The only problem was with Jonas is that he was being secretive about his relationships, especially when it came to Essie and his first wife. When they met that day, he could have said, "This is my wife." But he was caught up between money and success and opportunity that he had present with Joyce. And so he sacrificed his second wife, right, and the child by saying that was his brother's wife. And the brother ran along with it as well because of the same thing: opportunity, money. Okay? Right? So it all boils down to human nature and human nature greed and human nature jealousy. And this is how you think. Right? It's not about the institution of polygyny as that can happen, as I read early, in any type of structure, monogamous structure. Right? That's why you brothers have to be honest. You gotta be honest from the door. Don't tell half truths. Now you gotta continue to keep up with the lies and the deception, right? And they're only going to stress you out and all type of madness. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? The woman knew that Jonas was going to continue to be polygynous with the woman, the younger woman. She had an opportunity to leave. She didn't want to leave. She chose not to leave. She, in fact, is the one that offered her to be in a poly relationship and said, "I want you to be the second wife." Now, you set the stage for it. She said it, and she still tried to drag the woman, disrespect her at the christening of the babies. I mean, totally foul with her mouth. She had to apologize. I mean, she was wicked with the mouth. You feel me? And a lot of this happens when you have a first wife and you get a second wife, and especially if she's a younger woman or she look good, and the first wife getting her damn bag and become the damn devil that the Bible speaks of on all kind of level. Or it's an evil, bitter person. You feel me? Evil and bitter. And then you got the competition of the woman coming in, right? Feeling herself instead of coming in humble, right? You see what I'm saying? So it shows a lot of things that I experienced in my walk, right? In polygyny, right? You see what I'm saying? I can relate to a lot of things that I've seen in that video, right? Except that I've been honest about my situation for the most part. Okay? Yeah, it's a very good show. It's a very good show. If you haven't seen it, you shouldn't be watching this spoiler. All right, because I'm definitely spoiling it. Okay? But after you watch it, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. Right? Or you want to do a commentary, tag me in your commentary. Right? My favorite character on here, I'm not gonna lie, is Jonas. He was wicked as hell. I'm gonna say he was wicked as hell. He was just going off, right? Because he couldn't be honest. But hey, I'm the head of the family. I'm the one making his money. I took us out of the ghetto. I got y'all living a glamorous life. The children was being disrespectful and disobedient. To beat ass, put belt to ass, and all type of stuff. You feel me? I would have kick you up out of here. Get out of here. You feel me? His son was a weakling, right? And at the end, he manned up, and he was so starving for the girl, the young rib. He eventually was hitting that at the end of the joint, right? He wanted to get some get back, right? Because that was my worlds in his mind, right? You see what I'm saying? And so that's almost like a David and King David young wife. Right, that one of the men wanted to lay when he eventually got murked out for even requesting her after David was dead. Right, I forgot the name of that brother. Right, so there's a lot of things to unpack on that show. Right, there's a lot of things to unpack. All right, so again, it's your brother Maharaka. I want to represent E37 Entertainment, Righteous Sound Music. Check us out on YouTube. We got a lot of music coming out, a lot of things, a lot of projects going on. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to have time to go over this series, man. It's very interesting. I really enjoyed it. And I want to see if they're going to do a part two, right? So